co-founder of Sakara, along with Danielle, who's not here today. But today I have an extra special guest, actually a Sakara client with me, Shannon Spake. Hey, Shannon.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. I've watched you from afar for so many years and admired you and your grace and the way that you do everything. So sitting here with you is quite the honor.
Well, thank you. As many of you know, Sakara didn't start out as a business. It really started out as a solution to our own health needs. And eating this nutrition and living this lifestyle completely changed our bodies and our lives. And we made it our mission to help others experience that transformation for themselves. And today, we're getting to hear about your transformation, Shannon, and your experiences with our Sakara Level 2 Detox program. That's really what we're going to be talking about today. Detox, all about your experience and your boyfriend's incredible experience. And to give our listeners a bit of that understanding of what it's all about. Before we get started, if this is your first time joining in, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button below so that you get notifications for when we do more of these really fun lives. And this is live, so be sure to write in with any questions or comments. That's what this is all about. We're here to answer those questions for you. So Shannon, well, I want to introduce you to everybody first. Shannon is a powerhouse of a person, like really. So you might recognize her or her voice because she is a host and a sports reporter on the likes of Fox Sports and ESPN. She is currently the host and sports reporter for NASCAR racing, which is super cool. Also the Hornets. And if you have kids, fun fact, Shannon also made voice appearance in Cars 3, which my son loves that movie. So this is like a little star moment there. But Shannon is also, just as passionate about her health as she is about her career, being a triathlete. You've done multiple triathlons, which is incredible. And you also are a mom to teen twins, which
Yes,
is like a triathlon too.
which is probably the makes you the busiest, right? The most exhausted out of all of those things.
Yeah. And so I'd love to start with just hearing what brought you to Sakara? How did you find us? What was happening in your life? Like so many people come to Sakara, there's this moment like, something needs to change or I need something. What was it for you?
So in 2021, I like you said, I did triathlons. I did 770.3s, 4 marathons. So physically, obviously, I'd put my body through a lot of strain. Never had any major injuries, though, knock on wood at that point. 2021, I'm coaching my kids' cross country team. And they asked, hey, we need a fourth for a 4x200 relay. Can you do it? And like, sure. We had already warmed up and everything. And man, I was going to beat that 11-year-old Whitney. I was going to kick his little butt. But I took that baton and I took off, just sprinted and immediately heard my hamstring just go. And for anyone who's had any kind of Achilles or any of those injuries, immediately. And I knew immediately what it was, fell to the ground. Long story short, did have to have surgery, reconstructive surgery. All 3 tendons had pulled off the bone. I was non-weight bearing for 6 weeks. And it is truly a 1-year process to kind of get back to where you're supposed to be. So 6 weeks non-weight bearing, you're laying around, you're on pain medication. Your body needs nourishment, obviously. So you're maybe not eating things, you're eating carbs, you're eating things that your body's kind of requiring for a lot of that healing. And when I did start to kind of like walk and be able to be mobile without the crutches, I noticed that my knees were killing me, like to the point where those were what was restricting me the most at this point. It wasn't necessarily my legs, my knees were hurting so bad. And it was because I had so much inflammation inside my knees from this surgery. And so I was like, I have to do something. And maybe my algorithm, right? You start talking about inflammation, you start doing all these things and things pop up. And all of a sudden, here comes this program from Sakara. I had never heard of it at that point. And I was like, I started doing a little research and I was looking into the level 2 detox. I watch what I eat. I don't eat junk food, maybe drink a little bit too much wine, but who doesn't? So I'm pretty healthy individual, but I was like, let me just try this. What do I have to lose? And I can't walk without being in pain. And I remember getting sort of the first package, which is so beautiful because you really feel like someone is there with you, right? You get this whole package that's just beautifully done. At that time there was the dry brush. It walked you through the whole process. You get daily emails that kind of check on your progress and see how you're doing. And I remember reading the sort of the instructions that were in there, the pamphlet that was in there, and at the end of it, it said you will feel different, or your life will feel different by the end of this. We promise you. And I'm like, okay, sure, you know? And so I did it and I stuck to it. I mean, I didn't even have like a club soda. I didn't have a piece of gum. I didn't do anything outside of exactly what I was supposed to do for this level 2 detox. And it worked. And not only did it work, but I remember literally waking up on Saturday morning and going, holy crap, I am different. I feel different. They weren't lying. I had told many people that like it was life changing, and I'm sure they were like, "Oh, that's hyperbole. Okay, you're being a little dramatic." And I'm like, "No, seriously. This 5 days of what I ate and what I did literally changed my life." I mentioned to you, it was at that time, I think it was like day 3, my ex-husband and I got into our final fight before we got separated. And I was in such a clear headspace at that time because I was doing this level 2 detox that I was able to really kind of think about not only that situation that was going on personally, but the physical part of it as well, inflammation gone. It was a life changer. And I had gained 10 pounds while laying around for 6 weeks. And not only did I lose the weight during that time, but as the weeks and days progressed, you could still feel yourself getting healthier and healthier. And it was all because of those 5 days.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny, like I said, there are these moments in people's lives that they're like, I need Sakara. I need what they're selling.
Yeah.
And going through an injury or a surgery is something that we actually hear quite a bit because they're in a position where they can't cook for themselves, and they need help, and they end up, putting on some extra weight, not feeling good in their body and dealing with the inflammation.
Yeah.
And that's their moment, their kind of entry point. And then this light switches on that it's not just about that one moment in time, but that it can help, at future points in their life too. And I love what you said where, really, like, yes, a lot of people come in hoping for weight loss results, which is common, but really the inflammation is such a big one. And I'd love to talk about that one with your boyfriend when we get to, because his transformation was just incredible. But yeah, I think one thing that you mentioned was this moment of clarity. And for me, this is also a spiritual detox where when I'm cleansing out just the noise, I am able to hear that inner voice. I'm able to make better decisions. If I'm at a place where I'm stuck and I don't know what to do, I will go to our level 2 detox and, just calm everything, quiet everything down. And I'm able to hear the answers, coming from inside of me. So I love that we were able to support you on the physical level and your health and how you feel in your body and with your decision making and relationships.
Yeah, I mean, like kismet, right? Like it was like the stars aligned that I just happened to be doing this at that time. And I think people are so afraid of the word detox and like detoxes, like, oh, are we just doing juices or what is this like? And when I try to explain to people what Sakara level 2 detox is, I'm like, no, you don't understand. There's food. Like you actually eat food and the food is really, really good. And they provide everything for you. They send you every meal and it's packaged and it's beautifully packaged and they give you your supplements and they literally walk you through it. It's not like you go into a store where there's like, the drinks detox drinks there, and that's what you're going to have for the next 10 days and you're on your own. This is really somebody guiding you through this process. You do not feel alone while you're doing this. You have a checklist, so you feel like you're, little goals every single day. You get to the next one. And so that to me is, because there's tons of detoxes that you can do
Right.
out there.
One
But
thing that people don't know is that detoxing is actually nutrient dependent. So a
mhm,
lot of people just will do, a tea, or
mhm.
in the past, Danielle and I tried lots of different things. We did, master cleanse with just drinking lemonade and all these different things. But what we have learned over the years through talking to lots of different experts, researchers, scientists, doctors, and doing the real work, looking at the real science and the information, is that detoxing is nutrient dependent. So
Mhm.
your body actually needs certain key nutrients to help support its natural detox pathways. Like, a lot of people will say, I don't need to do a detox. My body detoxes.
Mhm.
Correct. Your body
Mhm.
is detoxing all day, every day, but sometimes it needs that little extra support. Our bodies
Mhm.
get just, overloaded with the toxins from, going out to eat and maybe having that little bit too much wine, and the air that we're breathing, and, different things that maybe you're getting your coffee, maybe you don't drink tap water, but maybe you're getting coffee with tap water in it every morning, just different places that we're not thinking about. And it collects in our body and it shows up in different ways. And so giving our body real food with the nutrients that supports, phase 2 liver detoxification, that supports
Yeah.
your elimination pathways and really opens up your digestive system to get things moving. You don't want to just start unloading toxins and have it get reabsorbed in your colon. You need to move that out of there. Then, like, that is the way to give your body the real support it needs so it can function at its best, to detox itself at its best.
Yeah, and I feel like it's really interesting because, like, for example, so like I have this right here, my passion fruit hydrator, right? I feel like you get to a point in the day where you're like, man, I just wish I could have something sweet. And then you have this, or you have like, man, I wish I need like a little bit of like something that's salty. But then one of the meals, like what I'm going to have for dinner tonight, like it almost provides that for you. So you're never feeling like you're completely like, I'm just doing bone broth for 5 days and I'm not getting a little bit of flavor or a little bit of taste that we all kind of crave. And it's one of the, it was really like one of the eye-opening moments that I had last time I did the detox, because I think this might be the fifth or sixth time that I've done this. And you and I spoke briefly. Every single time is a different journey, truly a different journey. And the last time I did it, I remember, I think it was my kids were in school, and every single day I heard myself, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. In the morning, I'm so tired. And I remember, I think it was like day 4 or day 5, maybe, of the detox. And we're driving to school. My son was like, I'm tired, Mom. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so tired too. And I was like, no, I'm not actually. I'm not tired. Why did I say that? Like, you almost just say it because like you're so used to saying that you're tired. But I was like, actually, I'm not tired. I feel great. Like I'm not going back and taking a nap when I get back to the house for 30 minutes or whatever, because I had to get up, and I feel great. And that was like, I was like, wow, it was just this moment of kind of like, it's working, right? And it's not easy, right? The first
It
day, I
is not
think
easy,
it's not.
especially the first time you do it, because you're not really sure what to expect
That's
yet,
right.
or how hard it's going to be. I think the
Yeah.
first time is definitely the hardest. But like you were saying, we are really thoughtful. We were really,
Yeah.
really thoughtful in designing this program to, we know we do this ourselves. So we know what it's like in that moment in the afternoon when you need just a little something, or when you're going to bed and you need that little nightcap.
These I love, by the way. So not a big fan of the ginger one. I can do it.
A little spicy.
I put them in hot water. So I put them in hot water. I love the fig one in the morning.
Yeah.
I love it. And
So
yeah, that
the,
one right
the
there.
the fig one. So
Love
get,
it.
you get along with your detox, you're
Yes.
getting this set of tonics. You have a morning tonic and like a lunchtime tonic
Mm-hmm.
and a little nightcap tonic.
Which helps you like relax. The nighttime one actually has some kind of calming.
Chamomile, it does.
Yeah.
And so the morning one is fig and wild root. It has
So
burdock.
good.
So that starts to get your liver juices, your bile and everything flowing. That's going to help you digest your food better. That's going to help you detox better. Coffee also is bitter, so it can help you do that. If you're adding milk and sugar into it, you're not getting those same benefits from it. But this is completely caffeine free. You pour it into a glass with warm water,
Yeah,
and this is like your coffee replacement.
that's right.
One of the hardest things for a lot of people is to give up their coffee ritual.
Mm-hmm.
The act of having something hot in the morning to drink,
Yep.
and this kind of helps. Okay, it's not going to replace that coffee, but it helps.
I love those. And those are new because those weren't part of the first process. I would do first couple times I did it, I would do hot water with lemon in the morning.
Yeah.
Because again, you just like, again, it's habitual. Like
Yes.
you just reach for something. I love
So
the tonics.
the hibiscus and ginger
Mm-hmm.
for just, your digestive fire. Also powerful antioxidants in that hibiscus. You can do this one, yeah, with hot water or with cold water if you're
Mm-hmm.
something as a little refresher too. And then, yeah, I love the calming chamomile tonic.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Has that blue
And I
spirulina.
love the colors, Whitney. Like that's what's so it's like when I'm like, they say eat the rainbow, but like when I'm like I don't what was the salad that I had yesterday where it has like blue in it and is that
Oh, well, I have them
maybe it was the first
here.
maybe it was the
Or
first
maybe
day.
the rainbow kitchery
That's
dinner.
yes. I love like it's so beautiful when you eat it like you feel like you're putting yeah, see I just
It
and
looks
I,
a lot
it's
better once it's heated up.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I can almost like see like you guys like how are we going to like what are we going to do to put our love into these meals for everybody? You almost feel that when you're eating them like they're created with this love and this intent
it has a
to
lot
really
of
make people happy.
it has a lot of love, and joy is a nutrient. Eating should be
Hmm.
joyful. This whole process should be joyful. And different colors have different nutrient profiles. So you're getting different forms of antioxidants, polyphenols, lycopene from red foods, the chlorophyll from the green foods. Those go in and help fight that inflammation we were talking about. They go and they look for those reactive oxygen species, those that are can be creating damage to your DNA and your cells. And they go and they put out those little fires all over
Yeah.
them. So you're flooding your body with lots of antioxidants, lots of colors to get that rejuvenation in your body at the same time as, detoxing things out. You want to be flooding yourself with the good stuff.
Yeah, yes, and you feel that. And one of the things I love too, and I think about it all the time when I'm doing the level 2 detox is the message of just sit and sit and eat in quiet and enjoy, like take your meal, like taste each bite sort of this is your time, this is your moment, because how many times we're grabbing stuff on the go or going into a car, eating a bar in the car, trying to get somewhere. Like it is almost like this ritual where you're taking time for yourself, and that part too, for me, you feel like you can truly feel yourself healing yourself because you're giving yourself that moment,
Yes.
which we don't do enough of.
Yeah, we need that pause.
Mm-hmm.
We actually absorb nutrients differently when we're in that state of rest and digest versus
Mm-hmm.
your flight. We can, your body wants to absorb things better when you're in a state of calm. So that's
So what was your why? Like I mean, like what was your why? You asked me.
yeah. I mean, so Danielle and I started this nearly 15 years ago. We both came to it for different health reasons. So for me, I had struggled with terrible cystic acne all over my face for over a decade of my life. It started in early puberty and just continued into my early adulthood. And I literally tried everything out there. I went to see all the fancy doctors and dermatologists and, this medicine doctor and this acupuncturist and all the things. And, nobody really asked me, what are you eating?
Wow.
Are you going to the bathroom every day? Which wasn't, and that's a vital sign. And not, how are you feeling about your life and your relationships and your just what you're doing in life, because all of that affects your gut and your health as well. And so I had tried everything from antibiotics, rounds and rounds of antibiotics that I wish I had never done, but that's in the past.
Yeah.
Accutane,
Yep.
which I wish I had never done.
Kills your liver, right? It's so rough on your body.
And your gut. And they're learning more and more about what it actually does in the body. It's said to shrink your oil glands, which we need those. And nobody's, especially as we age, the oil is there to keep our skin hydrated, moisturized, and protected. We need that skin barrier. But, and nobody is asking, well, why are these oil glands producing too much oil? Or like, why are hormones out of balance?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, let's just shrink the oil glands. But, what I discovered was I didn't have a skin problem. I had a gut problem.
Yep.
And once I healed my gut, my skin cleared up, but also my anxiety went away. My feminine ecology imbalances went away. And what I realized was, I was seeing doctors for all these different things, and it was all the same root cause, which was the gut. So,
yeah.
Danielle was studying to be a doctor. She was interning in a big hospital in New York City. And what she saw there was that the whole system was really set up around sick care, around treating patients once they were already at that point of needing only pharmaceutical intervention or surgery. And she was saying, who's getting to these people before they get to that point? Who's talking about how to stay healthy, how to help ourselves with food and lifestyle? Wellness was not even really a word at that point. This was, 2008, 2009. And so we came together to just figure it out for ourselves, go back to our Sedona roots, looking at how can Mother Nature help us? How can we just help our bodies to help themselves? And so it was really about giving our bodies what they needed to heal themselves. And so, it was very transformative for us. And then people started being like, hey, can you make me some of that? I need that too. I have this problem or that problem. And we're like, well, yeah, we need the extra money. We'll make some food for you. We're already cooking. And then they started having their transformations. And we realized, oh, wow, this is so much bigger than just two young women dealing with our own health issues. This is the future. This is food as medicine. This is getting back to our roots as humans and working, in conjunction with Mother Nature to really be our best selves so that we can show up in the world and share our gifts with the world that we have. And if we don't have our health, we can't do that.
What about the name? How'd you come up with the name?
So Sakara, it really chose itself. It's a Sanskrit word, means with form. And it's about giving form to things that don't have form yet. So your thoughts, your dreams, your goals, that life that you envision for yourself out there. And how do you take those and turn it into something on this plane that you can touch and feel and share with others? So it's really about turning your thoughts into things, your dreams into reality.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah, we're a very mission-driven business. I think, that's what keeps us going, is hearing these stories of transformation and how we're able to help people. And, as long as there are people out there who don't know the power of nature and plants and these ingredients, and need help, we're going to keep going on this mission. But
Yeah.
it's really hard business, I will tell you that. But it's really fulfilling because we get to help so many people to transform their lives.
Well, it's because people are so wired to just eat poorly, right? It's easier. It's tastes like
Yeah.
they're just like it's easier. And after I did the level 2 detox the first time, I actually became an ambassador. Like that's how much I believed in it. I know. I was like, I am all in. I started doing the chloroform drops, the beauty drops. I have that. I put the metabolism stuff in my coffee. I love that. I love that. I do that. Let me try. I actually had the meal plan a lot when I was traveling a lot, but just found sometimes I wasn't kind of keeping up with it. And then I
Yeah,
hated,
I think it's about figuring out what fits
yeah,
into your lifestyle. It's not about all or nothing. Like you
they're
don't have
so
to.
easy. Like you just grab, like it's easy and it's so good for you too. And exactly right there. See,
Yeah. So you're getting breakfast, it's real food. So these are our kale and mushroom breakfast.
love those,
I,
by the way. I
I put
love
them in my
those.
toaster oven
I
and
love those.
get them all nice and warm and yummy. I love the sweet potato hash breakfast. I put it in a saute pan for 2 minutes, stir it around. Orange and flaxseed
Don't
bar.
even get me started with that one. That's just I mean, because it's got the little bit of jam too that you're like, you feel like you're cheating. It's so good.
With
It's
all
so
these
good.
different seeds that are
Yeah.
filled with omegas and just great stuff. Yeah, with this raspberry jam, delicious. You get your passion fruit hydrator that we
Which I
talked
have
about.
right here, which is like just it's like a good little pick me up when, because you're not getting a lot of sugars in your body and you almost feel like,
Yeah, this gives you
towards the
that
end of the
boost
day,
of
you start to
energy.
get a little bit, yeah. I
So
love
it's
this
giving
one.
you a little boost of energy. It's giving you great electrolytes, so extra hydration.
Yeah.
This is a fasting mimicking plan. So your body is burning at a higher rate. So you need more hydration. So that's where all these little tonics come in. That's where this hydrator comes in to replenish some of those electrolytes. So it's really important that you're drinking enough, getting enough liquid into your body throughout the day.
I do have a question because I remember when I did it the first time, day 4 was sort of all liquid, right? And it was sort of, I think the process was that was the day that you gave all of your digestive system a true break. Now with the new one, you get to
Yes.
actually have some food. So what was the process behind that?
Um, Well, we kind of did a new approach on it. And so before we also had the medicinal broth at night.
I liked that a lot. I really
So
did.
you're one of,
Oh, people didn't like it?
it was very polarizing. You
Yeah.
either loved it or you hated it. It made you want to puke.
I I liked it. I liked, I think it almost had like that like mushroom kind of taste and it just was warm. I didn't mind that at all, that broth.
So we wanted to make it a bit more joyful, and we decided to move the soups more into the dinner position instead of just having a whole day of liquids, which can
Hmm.
also be challenging for people. We wanted to
Yeah.
make this a little bit easier. I think the last one was really hard, and this one is challenging but doable. And that's
Hmm.
fine. If you're if you can't do it, if you're not wanting to do it, then it's not going to help you. So it has to be enjoyable. It has to be doable. And so, we do more like soups
I have
and
that tonight. This is my dinner tonight, which is I love the soups. I love heating them up and just
and so
feeling the
this is
warmth.
lighter on your system for then going into your sleep so that your body really can get into that deepest, most restful, restorative sleep. So if you're eating right before you go to bed, especially if you have a big meal, then your body is not getting into that rest mode. It is working on digesting food. I don't know if you wear an Oura ring or if you've ever worn
Hmm.
one,
Hmm.
but I know when I've had, big dinners out and have eaten things that are really heavy and maybe greasy, and then I go to sleep, my Oura ring will tell me, like,
You
you
didn't
must have
sleep
eaten,
well, girl.
yeah, you didn't sleep well, and it's probably something you ate before you went to
Yeah.
bed. So you want to give your system the best chance to restore itself. So we're giving you a lighter dinner so that you're eating and you're feeling good, but it's just light on your system. You get into that deep, restorative, restful sleep.
I love it.
I saw that we have a question from Melanie.
Okay. I did have people reach out to me, by the way, when they saw that I was going to do this, and I know that you have the pictures later. And again, I've been preaching this for so long. I've been preaching this, and I tell people all the time, like, yeah, I'm doing this, and I'm, you know, I'm excited to do this, and so I'm really glad that I'm getting the opportunity to, because again, to show people what it actually looked like. This is not what you're doing the entire time, right? Which is what a lot of detoxes are. It's really good food, and you have someone with you, literally, like all the time, like kind of walking you through the process.
Here to hold your hand through the process.
Love it.
But so Melanie's question is, what place does caffeine have after the detox? Can it be reintroduced in a moderate amount? So I'd love to hear from you, your experience, your relationship with caffeine through this program.
Yeah. So it's funny because yesterday, day 2, I feel like I'm a coffee drinker. I have at least 1 cup every day. And day 2 is usually when I feel that pretty bad headache, which is so crazy to think about what you're literally putting in your body when your body is revolting against not having it. You know, we know what it's like to be hungover, right? When you drink and you feel hungover. And so, but to feel that headache that I had yesterday, like all day, because I didn't have caffeine, you're like, oh my God, what have I been putting in my body? So I think I told you every single time I've done this has been a different journey. The first time I did the detox, I did not drink coffee or alcohol for probably about 3 or 4 weeks afterwards. I just didn't want it. And I'm a wine drinker. I like to have my glass of wine at night to wind down. I like to have my cup of coffee in the morning, but my body just didn't want it. Now, the second time I did it, I was like, I put first day, I was like, I'm having coffee, right? But I didn't do wine for a while. Then the next time it was like, I'm doing wine, but I don't have to do coffee. And then the most recent time, I didn't drink for a month afterwards. I didn't drink wine for a month. So like I said, every single time I've done this, I feel like my body has had a different reaction or a different path. But regardless, the way that I look at it is, even if I did go back to drinking coffee on day 6 or having wine on day 6, to give your body that break is huge.
Yes.
Huge. Even if it's for 5 days, 6 days, that's huge. And when you kind of think about it.
This is what I tell people too, because people have that strong of a bond with coffee. It's intense. So usually I say, if you're going to do the program, maybe try to get off of coffee starting on the weekend. If you can start on Friday, great. If you have a busy day on Friday and you need that coffee, okay, start it on the weekend, no coffee. If you need to taper down, do matcha on the weekend, so that when the time comes and you're off the coffee and you're doing your detox, it's a little bit easier. Also to super hydrate during that time to help with the headache, making sure that you're getting in the electrolytes. That's really going to help you.
Yeah, but I know I don't do that, Whitney. I'm sorry. I'm like, these 5 days are going to be, I'm like, she wants me to do what? She wants me to stop drinking 3 days before I start this. And I know it does say in the instructions that it can be a little bit shocking to your body if you don't prepare it.
I will tell you that, like, we've even had people have, real, almost like runny nose, some sickness,
I believe that
type of level of withdrawal symptoms from, giving up coffee and alcohol and other,
sugar, everything.
Their sugar, things like that, even bread. We have these microbes in our system that are used to eating bread, meat, cheese, coffee, and alcohol as our 5 major food groups. And when you stop feeding those, they're not happy. But as you get through the days, the bugs that eat the fruits and vegetables and legumes, nuts and seeds, they start building up, and then you start feeling good and you start craving those more and more. But so I say, really try to not drink coffee or alcohol during the 5 days of your life, because it helps give your liver a break.
So, I don't do it for the 5 days. I do, like, I'm very strict.
We do have people that, they're like, I'll do the detox plus coffee.
Yeah.
And if that's what you have to do, fine. But I say, try to work up to doing it without the coffee. because you might be surprised about how much energy you have. It might come on day 4,
Mhm.
but you'll get there, and then that'll be a more sustained energy for after you get off of the detox. And one of the reasons why I say, like, try and let the coffee go for that time is to give your liver that break,
Yeah.
because your liver, things are coming in through phase 1 of detox into your body. So caffeine is something that we have to process and detox. But then you also have things coming out of your own body, like excess hormones, or if you have an imbalance in your gut, and an infection that you need to work on, and the kind of toxins that those release too, your body has to be processing those as well. And if you were always having toxins coming in,
Hmm.
it can't focus its time on processing those other toxins that are in your body, or those other things. I shouldn't even call them toxins, but the other things that it needs to work on to heal and clear and process through your body. So that's really where magic can happen. I mentioned to you before about one of my girlfriends. She was postpartum. She's in her early mid 40s, and was postpartum, about a year postpartum with her third child. And she was saying she just, was working out every single day, eating clean every single day, and just could not, like, lose the baby weight. She did not feel good in her body.
Yeah.
And I said, you need to try our level 2 detox.
Yeah.
And so she did. And in those 5 days, she told me, I didn't lose any weight in these 5 days. And I said, just wait, because really the results start to, for a lot of people, they show up in those 5 days. But for other people, the results come in the days and weeks after, because your body is processing that excess hormone, starting to rebalance things, get your digestive system getting back into the right order. So, and then I can't even tell you how amazing she looks and feels now.
I
Like,
believe it.
she's back to feeling like her old self, like the energy, the brightness, her mood, all of it has completely transformed. So, another reason to just, like, give coffee a break.
I know.
And then reintroduction.
Yeah.
I think that this is a good way. How Danielle talks about it is, if it brings you joy, okay, if you think like you feel good with it, like Danielle can drink coffee and it doesn't bother her at all. My husband, he can drink like 8 cups of coffee and then fall asleep, passed out
Yeah.
in 2 seconds. No. For me, if I have a full cup of coffee in a day, I'm like still awake at night.
You're like shot out of a cannon, huh?
Yeah. And so for me, I feel better without it. And how I got to that place was through this, like, understanding my relationship with coffee and how it feels with me and my body, and finding that place. So I'll still drink it from time to time, but I know that it's not the place that I want to just, like, get into that habit of doing it because it's a habit.
And that's exactly the word. It's a habit. Like, it's so habitual, like, to drink that coffee every day. It's so habitual to just grab, like, that's the thing that is like crazy to me. It's like how many times you just open up the cabinet and you're like, oh, I'm going to get a couple Fig Newtons, or, oh, I'm going to grab a couple of Triscuits, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. And then you really, when you're on the level 2 detox, you really realize how many times that impulse sort of just comes into your brain where you're like, no, I can't do that. I'm wait a minute, well, I can't do that. And then when you're done with the level 2 detox, it's almost like you're thinking about that weeks and weeks afterwards. You're like, do I really need to just grab a handful of peanuts right now for no reason? Is it because I'm bored? And it really retrains and breaks some of those really bad habits that we have just because we're bored, or we think we should, or whatever. That's the huge word.
An anxiety place.
Yeah.
It's like needing to do something.
Yeah. It breaks those habits.
Exactly. And it's brings an awareness to it that is
Yes.
really healthy and helpful. Okay, so we have to talk about your boyfriend.
Yes.
This, I mean,
I should get him, actually, because, like, people saw these pictures and they're like, okay, whatever. No, I know. And then, when I sent it to you guys, I obviously there's always, like, you guys probably get pictures all the time, and it's like, how do we really know that this
No,
happened and this happened, you
I
know?
I know because I've seen this. We have
Yeah,
seen this
yeah,
in other clients before. So
yeah. He's
yes.
a big soda drinker. He doesn't drink alcohol, but he's a big soda drinker. He eats like a toddler. So he loves pizza and he loves, like McDonald's hamburgers. I don't eat any of that stuff. And his diet has changed a lot since we've started dating about 3 years. But I don't know like what sort of perpetuated he got really big. Like his stomach was, and listen,
Okay.
I still love him. I love all
Yeah.
220 pounds of him, whatever he was at that point. More to kind of hug.
All right,
But
Anna, let's bring this picture up on the
yeah,
screen
but
here.
he was uncomfortable, and I could tell he was uncomfortable. His clothes weren't fitting well. That
And
picture
this
on the
looks like a
left,
lot of bloating too.
yes. A
So,
lot. Not sleeping well, back hurt, right? Insides hurt, like his internal organs. Like he would push with like his phone like on his like almost like on his internal organs because they would hurt so bad. And I said to him, I was like, you got to try this. And he was like, all right. And again, like when he saw this picture on the left, he's like, oh my gosh, he couldn't believe that that's what he looked like. And he was so dedicated and so good on this. We've done it twice. The second time he was 99% good. This time he was 100% bought in. And I was so proud of him, Whitney, because it's hard, especially when you come from drinking soda and eating a certain way. But he stuck to it. And literally 5 days later, same shirt, by the way. That's
yeah,
the
it looks
same
like a
shirt.
different shirt.
I know.
It's incredible.
And when I tell you that, like, I was like, you got your swag back, dude, right? Like, he felt good. And
I know,
like,
look at his face in the second picture. He's like,
yeah,
yeah, look at me.
this is truly everybody, truly,
Swag.
truly, truly 5 days apart. He wasn't pushing out his stomach. He wasn't sucking in his stomach, nothing. We weren't trying to manipulate this to look. We really wanted to kind of show what had happened. And,
But like,
and this
this
is
was
exactly
just
what it was.
something you DM'd us this picture. You were like, you know, I don't know if you're going to reply or anything. And I
Yeah.
just needed to share this with you that, I wanted my boyfriend to experience this. And this was
Hmm.
what he experienced. And it's incredible.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people look at this and they're like, well, how could he lose that much weight in only 5 or 6 days? And it's because it's not losing, this is not all fat. This is inflammation.
That's right.
This is inflammation. This is bloating. This is built up stagnation.
That's
This is
right.
water retention, lymph not flowing properly. It's all of these different things that have built up coming out of his body, getting the chance to be released. So I just, we saw this and I was like,
Yeah.
we need to share this with more people because it's so motivating and so powerful to be able to see a physical result like that. So thank you for sending this to us.
So much inflammation. So much inflammation. I think he lost 12 pounds. And it was literally like day 3 where I think we took pictures every single day. If I showed you, and by the way, I had done the detox as well. And I know I'm dressed differently, but you can even kind of see, like, I feel like even my face looked a little gray because I did it at the same time with him. I felt a little gray and then, you're obviously, when you get done with it, you're brighter, everything's clearer. But I was really, really proud of him and he was proud of himself too for doing this. And gosh, it was, I mean, imagine if he was just continued to go along with how he was. Like,
yeah,
where would
a
he be?
lot of people walk around feeling okay with feeling just okay. They don't
Yep.
know that they can feel better until they do. And then they're like, oh, I never want to go back to feeling that way. And
I mean, listen, he's handsome both ways.
no, for sure. And he looks like such a sweet, lover guy. But I think for his health and longevity, like I'm just so happy that that he was willing to listen to you and that you were willing to do it together. I think that that really helps, especially if somebody is new to this, to have somebody go into it with them. And I think, you know, women, they come into this a little bit earlier because we're a bit more in tune, in touch with our bodies. We have a monthly cycle, our cycle changes, our body changes, and we're aware of that. And we're like, oh, we need to be doing something to take care of ourselves. Men, a lot of times, they don't come into Sakara and talking about preventative health and food as medicine and these kinds of things until later, a bit later in life, when usually it's a doctor or somebody says, hey, you have high cholesterol, you have high blood pressure,
Yep.
you know, these issues. If you don't start turning this around now, you're going to be in trouble down the road. And they're like, I need to do something. And then usually it's a woman in their life says, hey, you got to try Sakara. And that's often how they come in. In recent years, though, I see this trend changing where more and more men are starting to come in and be excited about food as medicine and about, you know, changing their health, preventative health. You know, where before it was a small percentage of our clients were men, and now that percentage has really grown. So I'm excited to see that and to see, you know, that more and more men are coming in and really taking care of their health in a proactive way.
Yeah,
So,
and like I said, I mean, it's like maybe you don't like, listen, he loves pizza, he loves McDonald's, he's never going to give that up, right? He loves soda. But like I said, even that 5 day break where you're just giving your body a moment to kind of just go, okay, right? I'm gonna heal, right? It's almost like, you know, if you have a wound and you're constantly going like this and then you stop for 5 days, it's gonna heal. Now you might start scratching again, but the wound's not going to be there for a little bit. It's the same kind of thing. So I think some people are so nervous, like
balance
I'm gonna
too.
have to do this forever. I'm never gonna be able to eat this again. I'm never gonna be able to drink this again. No, it's this reset. It's this reset, this break for your body, and you're doing it for you. And when I get to the end of it, I always feel so proud of myself because it's like running a marathon or a triathlon where if it
Yes.
was easy, everybody would do it, but you get to accomplish this thing and it's for your physical health and it's for your body and you're doing it for you. And that's kind
Really
of
do
what
feel so accomplished at the end.
yeah, that's what always goes through my mind. I'm like, if I cheat, if I don't, so first of all, you know, it's an investment, right? You're investing 5 days of your life and a financial investment. And you're like, if I cheat, the only person I'm cheating is myself here. I've got 5 days of my life.
Such a good point.
Like, it's all 5 days. Like, how, I mean, we've got the rest of your life. You can go ahead back to drinking wine and coffee and doing all these things. I love this box, by the way, the box that you guys send in. It's so beautiful. You just feel so special when it arrives.
So yes, this comes in your delivery, you get a cooler bag. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you do this, but when I'm on our level 2 detox, I like to take a meal with me. If my husband's like, I want to go out to lunch or whatever, I'll put my meal in my cooler bag and take it with me and eat
Yeah.
it out. You know, I stick to my plan. That's what I do. You also get our targeted
Supplements.
supplements. These are really about supporting your body through the detox, you know, giving it that little added boost and support to help you through those 5 days that your body is doing some hard work.
Don't forget
Um,
the checklist because the checklist is huge. Like I
yeah,
keep it like on your fridge. And so like every time you do something, you get a little checklist.
yeah. So you get your checklist here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also get our body gua sha.
Which is new too, because the dry brush was the first thing.
Yeah, but they, you know, they do similar things. It's
Mm-hmm.
really about moving your lymph.
Mm-hmm.
So your lymphatic system is one of your detox systems of your body. And so, you know, using this to just move that lymph towards your lymph nodes, you want to, you know, open them up
Yep.
and you move it towards your lymph nodes. And it's also, I mean, it's great for body sculpting too. It just helps everything be a little bit tighter, a little bit more snatched.
We love that.
Like, and it's also great even for after the detox to keep that up, so that it helps to maintain your results even after those 5 days are over. So you can do it. And the thing about the gua sha that I love too, with the dry brush, I always felt like I needed to do it before my shower,
Hmm.
kind of like rough up my skin a little bit where I felt like I needed to wash the dead skin cells off. But with the body gua sha, you can do it before your shower, or you can put on your body oil after you get out of the shower and do it, post shower, like kind of relaxing your oils. Great little ritual,
Yes.
self-care.
Again, it's like so beautiful. Everything's beautifully packaged. Everything just makes you feel like you're going to like a spa resort, like you're going through this process, and it's this beautiful process of just like again, everything is just it just makes you feel good when you see it. It makes you feel like there's been so much thought and care and love that's gone into every single thing. You can almost like see, the two of you, like we're sealing this one and we're sending it with love, to each and every person, which is awesome.
We really do put so much love and care into all
I
of
love
it.
it.
Our kitchen teams are amazing.
I'd
You know,
love to come see the kitchen sometime.
we
I'd
have
love that.
we have team members who have been working with us. They're coming up on their 10-year anniversary. And, just people who really care about what we do and why we do it. And that comes out in the food. It comes out in our products. It really does. Like, I think that in the future, we're going to learn more and more about energetics, and especially with all of the new information in the science world with quantum, that's where I love to geek out on that stuff. And I think that energy and intention, it matters what the energy, food can hold energy, water holds an energy. And so, having people that care when they're making the products and then you put that into your body, all of that is part of the process of making you feel good, you know?
What's
And
your favorite? What's your favorite thing? Do you have one?
my
Like
favorite,
even if it's outside the level two.
okay, I would say my top two favorite Sakara things right now are our metabolism bites.
Oh,
And
I have those right here actually.
yeah, you got a little sample of
I
them.
did.
They're so tasty, pomegranate flavored. Not too sweet. They're like a
Let
sophisticated.
me see. I'll open this up. I don't think I can eat it because I'm on the level 2 detox, right?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see if I can show what it looks like.
But I
I'll save
love
these for
these.
later. Oh yeah, it's almost like a little gummy.
Yeah. They have a special extract of saffron in them that helps to support your dopamine response, your dopamine levels. So like we were talking about, if you're that mindless snacker, if you're a grazer, if you're an anxiety eater, this is going to help cut that noise and that habit, that
Love
food
that.
noise. And it's, so it's really great to support that. And then it also has an African spice fruit in it that is amazing for shifting your body into burn mode.
Love
So
it.
great for body composition. If you're looking to shift more, from fat into muscle, these are really just a great bite. And they're so tasty. Like, people love to eat them just as a little snack in the afternoon. They're always asking me, well, how many can I eat? Prince size says two, but how many can I actually eat?
How many can you eat?
I think we say you can eat up to 8.
Okay.
It's okay. And then I love our night service sleep supplement. It
Okay.
is next level. So it is a melatonin-free sleep supplement.
Which
I
is
don't
great because I do melatonin from time to time and I feel the melatonin hangover. I started magnesium recently because the
This has
melatonin, I would feel
magnesium,
it. Hmm.
but magnesium for me, it's fine, but it doesn't do like enough. It's great, it's helpful,
Yeah.
but magnesium by itself is not enough. So this has Nordic cherry, which is the most potent form of tart cherry, which is a precursor to melatonin. So you're helping to build your own melatonin levels and like get into that healthy
Huh.
sleep cycle. It has pharma GABA in it, which is the natural form of GABA.
Okay.
that helps to quiet the busy mind. So if you're the type that lies in bed at night and is thinking about like, I got to do this, and why didn't I do that today? And oh, I
You
better.
mean if you're a woman? Like
Yeah.
literally. I mean,
Yes.
who doesn't?
Yeah. Well, this helps to quiet
Okay,
that,
I can use
quiet the
that.
busy mind. And then it has 5-HTP in it. So this, it's a supplement ingredient that is really known. It's known in the party world actually, because if you have a late night out, if you're, drinking alcohol or other things that are depleting your serotonin stores, this helps you to replenish and help with that serotonin level. So you wake up feeling more refreshed in the morning. So
All right.
if I wake up in the middle of the night, even if it's 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'm like, I still need to get, 2 more hours of sleep, but I'm lying there with a busy mind, I will pop a couple because I know that it's not going to make me groggy when I wake
Yeah.
up. It's going to make me feel better when I wake up. So, I mean, and the combination of the metabolism with the saffron and the night service with the 5-HTP in there, I mean, it is like a happiness combo. So that's my little like uplifting, happy boost combo that just makes living life a little bit easier and brighter,
I'm going to try it because Lee, my boyfriend, the one that we just showed, he does have a hard time sleeping at night, and he does wake up frequently. So that's actually really good to know, because there are a lot of times where you're like, you don't want to take something at 4 o'clock in the morning because you got to be up at 6:30 to get the kids to school, and melatonin, all those things, they make me very groggy. I
They
can
give me
feel
crazy
it the next
dreams.
day.
Crazy
Yep.
dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So this, I can't do melatonin. Like I said, I can't do coffee. I can't do the melatonin.
Yeah. And I have like a 3 milligram melatonin, and I do a half of a 3 milligram melatonin. That's all I do. So, cause I'm very sensitive to any kind of like pills, aspirins, anything like that. My body, and I know my body, 49 years on the planet, like I'm pretty in tune with what's going on inside me. And so I have to be super careful about the amount of melatonin that I take. So that's good. And I switched to magnesium for that reason.
I mean,
Um,
magnesium is great. You should be taking
yeah, but I'll
it.
have to try those.
In addition, I would say like magnesium is just such a wonderful supplement. We include it in our level 2 detox program. But it just does so many different things in our
Yeah.
body.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of 400 different chemical processes in the body. So, and over 80% of women in America are deficient in magnesium. So I'd say it's a great one to continue even when you're after the detox.
And I like the coconut elixir, so I'm a big fan of that. Like
Paper, which you
yeah,
can get along with your signature nutrition program now. And so
cool.
this is what a lot of people do is they'll do level 2 detox and then they say, what do I do to maintain my results? And what we usually recommend is to order our signature nutrition program in the amount that fits your lifestyle and your desires. So that doesn't mean you need to be on breakfast, lunch, and dinner 5 days
Right.
a week.
That's the cool thing about that for sure.
Yeah, it's about saying, okay, I know that I'm going to have a busy week this week, and I need, some healthy things in the fridge so that I stay on track and I nourish myself. So many people, actually, a lot of women that are very health conscious, it's not that they're going to reach for something unhealthy in those busy moments. They'll often skip a meal.
Yep.
Just like not eat, and then you don't have the brain power to be your best for those busy week that you have. You need to be nourished, and especially if you're in your childbearing years or in your perimenopause years, you need to be getting nourishment into your body to help support all of those things that our bodies are doing. And so skipping meals is not the way. And especially if you're an athlete,
Yeah.
that nutrition for sure.
Yeah. And if you skip a meal, then dinner time, you're eating double the amount because you're ravaged and hungry, and you're eating while you're cooking and then end up eating. Yeah, it's definitely, but I mean, there's that thought process, right? Where it's changed so much over the years, right? I always laugh because it's like I do intermittent fasting, but when I was growing up, intermittent fasting was anorexia, right? Like you didn't eat, right? Like that's kind of what it was. Obviously, and I'm not at all sort of downplaying eating disorders because I had one and still have many issues that I deal with in terms of body dysmorphia, which is one of the reasons that this is so good in terms of, when I was younger, anorexia, also dealt with bulimia, all of those things. So I do intermittent fasting because I feel better. I feel better when I don't eat till 1 o'clock in the afternoon because most of the time you're feeling full. And so when I do the Sakara stuff, it's just the right amount to kind of not make you feel full. And that's one of the things, like people will be like, how do you say no to like pizza? How do you say no to Chinese food? I have wired my brain to know what that's going to make me feel like after I eat it, that it's like it's not worth it to me, right? Now I can eat pizza at 8 o'clock at night if I'm going to go lay down and go to bed afterwards because then I don't really have to feel it. But I'm not going to go and get like Pizza Hut or whatever at lunchtime,
And
right? Because
it's a
horrible.
conscious choice. It's a conscious
Yeah.
decision. And you're checking in with yourself, like, is this going to make me feel good? Is this going to
Exactly.
or not? And you've built that relationship with yourself and you've built that relationship with your plate that you can do that. And so I think that's what we constantly have to do. We have to constantly be checking in with ourselves, like, where am I? Am I overdoing it somewhere? Sometimes people overdo it too much on the healthy side too. And we're
Yeah.
like, you need to be pulling out and just nourishing yourself.
Yeah.
We even had a fitness instructor doing our programs. She was doing our signature nutrition program. And actually on day 5, she called us. She was upset. She said, I'm bloated and I just like feel sluggish and and just want to talk to you and hear your thoughts on this. And then finally, we were able to talk to her and she was like, I figured out what it was. I started my period. I hadn't had a period in 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, after eating your program, I started my period.
Wow.
She was like, I called my mom and my mom cried. Like so
It's amazing.
emotional about it.
It's
And
amazing.
we need to nourish ourselves. We need to give our body that love and that nourishment for sure.
Do you have one favorite story? Like, do you have one person that kind of, when you think about the difference that you've made in humans' lives and people's lives, like that kind of sticks out in your brain?
I think some of the early stories really just stick with me because I always go back to them in those difficult moments to remember why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So one was a girl who, she just found us by Googling online, searching online. And she wrote to us and was like, I need to tell you my story and how you changed my life.
Oh, yeah.
Talked to her and she was in her mid-30s working in a banking job in New York City. And she had been an athlete and everything her whole life and exercised a lot. And she started fainting, like even fainting at work. And so she went to see a doctor and they said, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but you have cancer and you're going to die.
Oh my God.
And she was like, what? This is crazy. Spun her whole life around. She went to see another doctor and they're like, no, it's not cancer. You have AIDS.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, what? How would I have to get that? This is crazy. And so finally she got a right diagnosis. She actually had lupus. And so she was like, all right, I can figure this out, autoimmune condition. And they put her on all these different medications and it started putting her into renal failure and she was going to die.
Holy moly.
And so she searched the internet and she found us and she was like, just want to heal my body, go all natural and see what happens. And so by the time that she had reached out to us, it had been 3 months and she had been able to get off of her medications. and get out of renal failure.
Wow.
And she was like, you saved my life.
Wow.
And so, just like hearing these stories about people really using this, like
Yeah.
their health, their lifeline.
Yeah.
And it keeps me going. Like, okay, we have to keep going. There are people who need this, people who need our help, whether it's, just for 5 days out of the year to like get back in on track, or to support them throughout their busy lifestyle, on an as needed basis throughout the year. I think like, plants are incredible. Like we're not about being vegan. I'll have to say that we're not about being vegan, vegetarian. It's about getting enough plants into your body, because plants contain certain nutrients in them that you can only get from plants, that plants have been used as medicine for thousands of years. They're still used in today's pharmaceuticals. A lot of the pharmaceutical drugs are based on plants, and we just don't get enough of them into our diet in today's day. And so
Truth.
that's why we provide,
Because they're not easy. It's not easy. Like it's not packaged in a little package that you can grab out of the cabinet and just eat it. Like you have to open up the lettuce, and you have to open up the carrots, and you have to cut them or whatever,
things and prepare them and clean up after. And they live and die in your refrigerator if you don't use them.
I might have some lettuce and some cucumbers dying in my right now.
And so, so really, we want to get those good, healthy plants, like we talked about, with how it just helps to calm that inflammation, boost the nutrition in your body. It can do amazing, incredible things. But Shannon, I am so grateful.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Came on and shared your story, and you were vulnerable and honest with us, which I think really goes a long way to people, for people to see that and be able to, feel a little bit of themselves in that story.
Yeah, you guys, again, not as scary and tragic almost as the story that you told me. But when I say that Sakara changed my life, it did and still does. Long summers, you're out, you're drinking, you're going to festivals, you're doing this. You got to go back to work. You feel like crap. Level 2 detox. I'm like, all right, I'm doing it. Like I'm doing it. And it does really reset. When I did do the meal programs, which I did for a really long time, I need to get back into it. Cause again, it's just something that I can grab, just like you said, right? You're not going to skip a meal. You're not going to just grab whatever. You have to be more mindful of you. Because I mean, believe me, your health is all you've got, and food is power, and food is what, I mean, you talk about people like who have kids that have like, ADHD or, you have anxiety or whatever. And then all of a sudden you change your diet, you take this out, you do this, gluten-free. It's so incredible how much just treating your body right can do. And you guys make that easy, because we don't really have to think about it, because you're thinking about it for us, which is so key,
That's what we try to do every single day.
Yeah.
Think about you guys. We care about you guys. We love you. So
you changed my life. So seriously, which is why I've been a big fan, and I'm honored to be here kind of sharing my story, because I hope that this conversation that you and I have, the people who I've told, in my life, how big of a difference it makes, they watch this or they see this and they're like, oh, okay, let's do this, because it truly is a big deal. And I hope that they come back to me and say, hey, Shannon, you were right. This changed it. So.
Well, thank you again, Shannon.
Of course.
Thank you to everybody for joining. This is going to go up on our YouTube channel. So even when it's not live, you can still watch it and share it with your friends or loved ones that you think might benefit from hearing this conversation today. So thank you, everybody. and send a big hug to your boyfriend.
I will. I'll scream. I'll let him know. He's downstairs right now. I'll let him know. He'll get, I'm sure his DMs will be blowing up. He's already had a bunch of his buddies like, oh, is
we
that
love
6
him.
months? What, like, so.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Good one.
Thank you. I think we're off.
Are we, Anna? Let's see.
Yeah. Sorry, I like to wait a sec because